Shalom, shalom lachem, shalom alechem, uvarachim boachem. Within this video, I will be trying to dispel the many misconceptions that runs rampant within our community. And that is saying that the Hebrew that we're speaking, the Hebrew that you want to learn is Yiddish, when in fact it isn't. The Hebrew that the people who are in Israel today are speaking is Yiddish. Majority of them, and I'm talking about the Israelis, not the Orthodox Jews. They speak Yiddish. The ones with the brimmed hats and the black hats and how majority of them speak Yiddish. They're able to speak Yiddish and speak Hebrew. But you guys don't know the difference between them. So you're saying, and the funny thing is, when I hear it and then you write or you say that this is Yiddish and I'm hearing it, I can tell the difference. What they're speaking is Hebrew. But again, because the waters have been diluted already, okay, by the yellers outside, you have this notion that whatever they say is Yiddish. And it's taking away from the power that comes with words. Case in point, I have a PDF here that I found years ago, and it's a Hebrew Yiddish, well, we can say Bible, but Tanakh, okay? Now you can get this online. Just go to Internet Archive, put in Yiddish, Hebrew, Yiddish, Torah, Tanakh, Bible, okay? Now this is not the devil's language, okay? It's a language. It's a language. There are certain languages, of course, we know that gives power to evilness, wickedness, okay? Yiddish is a language that draws upon many other Germanic languages, much like how English is, right? So remember, there is power in words. If you speak what you're speaking and you think that is Hebrew when it isn't, and I'm not talking about the one that I'm teaching you, but the one that you keep hearing from the yellers outside, that is not Hebrew. Case in point, let's go here. Now I'm going to write everything that is, I'll underline everything that is Hebrew in blue and Yiddish in yellow. Hebrew, semi-Hebrew, Hebrew. Now, Yiddish, all Yiddish, Yiddish. Okay. Now, how do I tell the difference between them? I speak Hebrew. I can tell what's Yiddish. It's foreign to my ears. It's foreign to my eyes. I can tell, when I look at this, I can tell what's the root. Flat out. But because, again, a lot of our people don't know, so we look to others, or some people, as leaders. And those leaders have led the flock astray. Okay? Majority of those leaders who say don't learn a language don't know another language. They don't. Majority of those leaders are pushing you towards somewhere else. Now, when I first started learning Hebrew, and it was a type of when I looked at it, at least the way that they were saying it, I looked at it and I'm like, okay. And then I remember I speak two other languages. When I looked at the way how they were teaching it as, oh, if you don't see any, so let's put it this way. So if I have Torah, so Torah, right? Those are the vowel points, right? Nikuzos. Those are the vowel points. So if you see the vowel points, that's actually Yiddish. Malarkey. That's no. So they're saying, oh, well, if you take it away, that's actually Hebrew, and there's no vowels in Hebrew. Yes, vowels were not really written. This actually is a vowel. Okay, that is actually a vowel. Even if you took it away and you did this, I will be able to understand this if it was written like this majority of the times. Right? This Torah. I don't need this. This is a helper. Okay? So what they're saying is, oh, there's no vowels. Yeah, there are no vowels written. They are vowels. There is no language on this planet that can survive, that will be able to stand without vowels. They are the tent poles of a language. You take away the vowels, you have no language. One would not be able to differentiate an active voice from a passive voice, from verbs, from nouns. You would not be able. Everything will sound, and that's another thing. So everything sounds like ah. That's a vowel. So ah 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 ah. Ah. No, it's not baby language. No. Sorry. No. No, 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 no. This Torah right here. This Torah right here. This, you can take this away, this away. I'm gonna write it this over here. Okay, so you have Nun, you have Beth, you have Aleph, and you have Mem, right? Now, this becomes very difficult in trying to decipher. If you add that, it's easier. Nevi'im. This is harder to decipher. So what happened? You have the vowels, the syllables as vowels, used as vowels. So it became easier and easier, and that's how languages evolve. It evolves with the people. The people take the language and they continue using it, and after a time you have the younger generation that uses it differently. You have the people using it differently. That is how a language evolves. But to say that this is Yiddish when in fact is actually Hebrew, that's a disservice. That's wicked, because you're pushing. If it was knowingly done, and it's now knowingly done by those yellers, you have to stick with a script, and not, if you can't say we made a mistake, we're sorry. They don't know how Yiddish sound like. They don't. And I do. Yeah, yes, I do. So I'll show you exactly what I mean. Okay, for those who are still doubting. So this is the Old Testament in Hebrew and Yiddish. Okay? Now this is Hebrew right here. And this says Hamisha Humshe Sorah Bereshith Shemoth. Let's do that again. Hamisha Humshe Sorah Bereshith Shemos Vayikra Bamidbar Devarim. Now how can I read this without the vowels? Modern Hebrew is read without the vowels. The reason why classical Hebrew have the vowels, because a lot of it is past. Okay? I mean, there are Bibles or Tanakh or Torah that don't use the vowels. Okay? And you can read it. It's a little bit more difficult. Okay? Because it's not written in a type of modern Hebrew mentality. But this is, I'm reading this just fine. After a time, your eyes become accustomed to seeing this so much times, and you hearing it so much times, you don't need the vowels. There are teachers who teach without the vowels. You don't need it. Not completely, unless it's very difficult words, one. words geared to a certain profession, 2, or foreign words, 3. And foreign words you usually can tell because it has no root. It just makes the language look a bit bulky. You can tell. So I'm gonna continue. Okay, next we have here. These are all Yiddish. This. Now this is the equivalent of that. These are Hebrew. Torah, Nevi'im, Uksuvim. Then you have the books here. This is Yiddish. I'm guessing this is the page number. Page in Hebrew. Daf. This is not daf. This right here is Yiddish. This might mean the I don't know, the chapter. Either this is the, I have no clue. I don't even know. But this is not Hebrew. Okay? These are the books of the Bible. So you have Bereshith here. Sorry about that. You have Bereshith here. And notice how I'm reading it without the vowels again. Shemos ויקרא במדבר דברים יחושו השופטים שמואל הלך א' שמואל הלך ב' מלכים הלך א' מלכים הלך ב'. Then you have Nahum, Habakkuk, Sfanya, Haggai, Zechariah, Malachi, Tehillim, Mishle, Yov, Shir HaShirim. I'm reading it without the vowels. I know how this sounds. I've seen these words so many times. And that's pretty much how Hebrew is. You fill in the blanks. You don't need... This is like a short way of writing. You don't need the vowels completely. For those who are beginning, yes, I would say that. But even to then, there are teachers who teach without the vowels. I wish I could, but a lot of people... I think I would lose a lot of people. Keep going. Now, there is power in your words. Okay, let's see if I can get this to great zoom in. Okay, so I had to minimize this a bit. Let's put this down there. Let's exit that. Okay, here. Let me move this over a bit. There we go. So, this is Hebrew, right here. Come on. Right there. And it says Bereshith. In the beginning. This here is this on this side. This is all Yiddish. Here, this on this side. This is all Hebrew. Okay? Now I'm going to read the Yiddish. Now, the reason why I can read the Yiddish is because it has the vowel points. No, the vowel points are not... They're just vowels. That's it. Okay? You take away the vowels, you have the vowels. It does not change the language into Yiddish. This is Yiddish on this side, and you'll hear the difference. Now this says Im anhib hat nat beschaffen Himmel or Himmel und Erd und die Erd I gewesen wist und leer und finsternis is bewesen. Oif. Dampf or dam. Okay, I can't even continue because it's hurting me. Okay, this one here is Hebrew. Bereshith bara Elohim es hashamayim ve'ha'aretz ve'ha'aretz ha'isa thohu v'avohu ve'choshek al penei thechom ve'ruach Elohim merachefes al penei hamayim. This is Hebrew. This is Yiddish on this side. Yish. This is Yiddish. This is Hebrew. I can tell the difference between this and this. Now, the only reason why I understand maybe 2 words out of all of this is because it's German. Und, and then you have erd. Okay? And you guys know what und is, and... So no, this is not, they're not the same. They're just using the Babylonian style of writing. The style. It's like me writing, let's see. It's like me writing this. Which is Yah's name in Paleo-Hebrew script. This is just a script. This is not saying that you're writing or saying another language. I think we have that misconception. This here is the Babylonian script. So this is a script. This here is a script. And then you have this here, which is another script or style. I'm just taking these and applying the style, applying the script to Yah's name. That is it. You're actually not learning a different language by learning this. You're learning a different way of writing it. That is all you're doing, is transfer. Same thing with picto. You're taking the picto. Don't get me wrong. The roots, there's certain times you can see that how the word has been formed and how the word... I'm not saying for you not to learn this script or to learn the scripts prior to that. No. But for you to say that it's a completely different language and it's actually Yiddish, that is a disservice. Yiddish is a it's a language that takes other Germanic languages and the Semitic language and mixes it into one language. So there are Hebrew words in Yiddish. There are no Yiddish words in classical Hebrew. Now when it comes to modern Hebrew, that's a whole different story. It has here and there, but the bulk of it is from classical Hebrew, from Mishnaic Hebrew, from Talmudic Hebrew, okay? And then medieval Hebrew. You have all those 4 Hebrews that make up modern Hebrew, but majority of it stems from classical. Then you have Aramaic, Arabic in modern Hebrew. Okay? For those of you who have never studied a language, outside of Spanish I'm talking about, other than Spanish, this thing can become very confusing. And 2, when you hear it from the yellers, and that's another funny thing, and it's sad, you would say that yes, the Africans on the continent, they are Africans on the continent who are Hebrew. But then you'll believe the language? It makes no sense. I'm guessing certain things haven't been revealed. But hopefully, with this you can start to understand. What you're speaking, what they are speaking is not Yiddish. You can hear, it smells, it tastes like German. It tastes like other European languages. Hebrew is Hebrew. And the sad thing about it is there's power in words. There's power in how you say things. So by them speaking Hebrew and you guys speaking what the yellers are telling you is Hebrew, those who speak Hebrew in Israel could be laughing at you. It's like they're actually speaking Hebrew and then you're speaking something else. So it's like the power of words is with them and the power or the lack of, the want of, is with you. Take back the power. Take back what Yah has given you. And some say, well, didn't Christ say that he will? Yes. Didn't Yah say that we will? Yes, he would. Of course. However, how does Yah do things? Does he not do it through man? Are we not vessels of his? Do you think he's gonna come down and do it himself? If he did that, we'll be obliterated. What happened with Moshe in the mountain? His voice alone could tear us apart. What else if he came down? He uses people. He uses people as vessels. The only thing is that we're so easily led astray. That part, it infuriates me, because there are people who actually do know, but they won't say anything, and they're leading you astray. Now, case in point, when it comes to, there are Hebrew words within Yiddish, if I can find the names, because that's the only thing that I can actually just make out. Okay, this, now it has switched. This is Hebrew here. I don't want anyone think that, oh, okay, well, everything on the right side is Yiddish. No, this is Hebrew now here, and this is Yiddish on this side, so I'm going to clarify that right now, okay? So it switched, and I can tell, just looking at it, I can tell this is foreign to me. I have no clue what that is. This I know. Vayeten otham Elohim berkiya hashamayim leha'ir al ha'arz velimshol bayom uvalayla. This is foreign to me. This is Yiddish. Und, that's as much as I know. Und, undi, ernd. Und. Now one may think, oh well, this is Hebrew. No, it isn't. And even if it didn't have the vowel points in it, I would know. People who speak a language, it's like me speaking English. Somebody come to me who showed me Spanish written down and say this is English. You would know. You know a fraud from you can tell what's real and what's not. But because you guys don't know Yiddish and you've never seen it, and you can't tell the difference between it because they're both written in the Babylonian script, it's like, okay, you're taking what they say for gospel truth, and it isn't. Keep going down. Now I'm trying to find the names. Okay, like this one here. This is a Hebrew word, zachar. That's male. So they have Hebrew words in... Let me change this. You have Hebrew words inside Yiddish. Now one might say, well, how do you know that's not actually a Yiddish word? No, it's not. This has a root. This has a root. And that's the confusing part about, I think for a lot of you, is that because the script has been hijacked, okay, has been taken and it's used, you don't know the difference. But people who speak Hebrew know. That's the thing. That's the alarming thing. Okay? It's like, and that's another thing. Modern Hebrew is a form of Hebrew. It is not Yiddish. It has Yiddish components. Even if someone might think, and there are scholars who think this way, that because modern Hebrew uses, and I've seen it, because it uses a different type of construct than that of classical Hebrew, it is actually Yiddish. No, the mindset might be Yiddish. It is grounded within Europeans because Europeans now use the language. Semitic people used classical Hebrew, and their minds, when I say they, I'm talking about our ancestors, the mindset was different. European mindsets are different. So if it's just like when we speak English completely different than our Caucasian counterparts, from the Asian counterparts. Our cultures are different. We use it different, just like how you use tools differently, because you use it according to your knowledge or according to your culture. That's how languages form. So because we used it, classical Hebrew, the way we used it, it sounded differently. Modern Hebrew, when it was first forming, it sounded like classical Hebrew, and then it took a turn. Once majority of the Europeans who live in Israel right now started using it, it completely changed. And I'm talking about the structure, the taste, the flavor of it changed. It's like music. You put music in a Caucasian's hand, it'll sound different. You put it in a black person's hand, it'll sound different. Music is a language. The way how you emote is a language. Or you can say that is the vowels of it. You take away the vowels, you have nothing. You have a flat language. That is not a language. And that's pretty much what is being taught right now. You have, go back here, you have shalom, which now is, let me see if I remember how this is. I said this is this way, this is this way, and this is, actually can't remember it. It's been a long time since I've done the script, but I'll write it in the Romanized way. So you have, all they did to make shalom what shalom is, instead of shalom, they added the vowel ah, and they said that ah is not a vowel when ah is. There's no language that can survive. Now, well, they say, okay, well, it's baby talk. No. This is not baby talk. Shalom. Shalom. So what they did was la wam. So everything is ah. That is not a. Imagine if everything sounds ah. It's not a language. There's no language that will ever sound like that. You might have two vowels, three vowels within a language, but never one. Never one. You will not be able to differentiate an active voice from a passive voice, from verbs, from nouns. It's just not gonna happen. It's not a working language. Yes, I've heard certain music from them. I've heard certain sentences from them. But try having a conversation. Try having an actual conversation. I've heard them when it comes to trying to make this it just does not fly. This is not Semitic. And some will say, okay, well, Arabic has changed. Arabic has not changed as much as Hebrew has. And this is now grounded in a language. And again, I'm not speaking disparagingly to those who actually want to learn and are hearkening to those yellers on the street. Okay? I'm admonishing those who are leading the flock astray. But going back, before anyone thinks that I'm trying to run away from finding these names, let's see if I can find it, because I'm not finding. Now it's switched again. So Hebrew, you have Hebrew here, and then you have Yiddish here, okay? And I'm not finding it. Again, this is harder to find on the Yiddish side because everything is so foreign to me. When I find it, when I spot it, I'll know where it is. This is all Yiddish here. All Yiddish. All Yiddish. All Yiddish. Okay, you know what? Let me see if I can go here and go back to the starting. See if I can find it there. Okay. I bet I can find it faster this way if everything is see. So Hebrew here, Yiddish here. Yiddish here, Hebrew there. Let's see. Another Hebrew word I found. I just saw it. Where is it? Right here. Mincha. Mincha is present or gift. One word, one way of saying that. It's a Hebrew word that has been used in Yiddish. Again, I can point out all of the Hebrew words quick within Yiddish because I know the Hebrew words. And all these other stuff, this is Yiddish. There's no root. There's no Semitic root. Okay, so it's harder for me to find the names, the Hebrew actual names that I'm looking for. It's gonna take some time. Okay, here it is. Okay, so you have Adam. Well, Adam is a Hebrew word, but it's in the Yiddish side. Yes, they're able to. It's just like me saying a Asian person's name and I'm speaking English. Okay, I need you guys just to continue, think a bit deeper. If there are the way how you speak, the way how you emote things, there's power in it. If I steer you a different way, your words, what you speak, has no weight. How you pray, what you pray, to whom you pray, has no weight. If you learn an actual language, if you learn... Man, I understand why a lot of people try staying away from Hebrew because there's so much confusion around it. There's so much confusion, there's so much complexities around it that it's like, you know what, let me just go learn this one. This is a bit better. But the thing is, you're always going to come back to this. No matter what, is going to come back to this. Don't let someone hijack what you should be learning. Learning a language is not easy. Just like anything on this planet is a sacrifice, everything is. This is no different, okay? I'm just trying to steer you in the right way. So, okay, another one. You have Evel. Okay. I think Cain should be here. Cain. That's Cain. This is Abel right here. So you have Evel, you have Cain, you have Adam. I can pinpoint those quite easy. Another Evel and then Und. Und right here again. It's not Hebrew. And then when you go to the Hebrew side over here, or over here, then yeah, I can just tell with or without the vowel signs. But because I know Hebrew, I can tell what's Yiddish. And I'm repeating myself again, and it's the same thing as if you know English and someone comes to you with another language and say that's they come to you in another language with the same way English is written and say, no, this is actually English over here. You can tell the difference. Even if you went to Old English, you can tell the difference. You can still tell the difference. It's changed a lot. Old English and the way how we speak has changed vastly different, but you can still tell. I don't know if it's because I speak other languages. I don't know if it's because I've learned other languages. I don't know. I only can speak for myself when it comes to this. At least to the latter part of what I'm saying. The latter part what I'm saying. Okay? But no, Hebrew, Yiddish, they're not the same. They're not the same. It's like me creating a stew, putting a whole bunch of ingredients in it. That is, and then voila, that is the finished product is what Yiddish is, or the finished product is what English is. English is, it draws from different languages. So does Yiddish. It's a hodgepodge language. Hebrew, classical Hebrew has Arabic, it has Aramaic, some Aramaic in it. Because the people who were around each other traded with each other, you're gonna have roll-off. We went into captivity how many times? What happens to the mindset? It changes. You start taking on like the months of the year. There are certain months of the year in Hebrew that are pagan. Okay? But of course, a lot of people don't know that. I've done countless of research when it comes to language before I dove into it. And even whilst I was diving into it, there's certain things that didn't make sense to me that I questioned. I'm like, this is not making any sense. I know the 10 poles of a language. I know what forms a language. What I'm hearing is not jiving. Things are not gelling correctly. Things aren't gelling correctly. So it's like, I hope you guys have learned something out of this. I know it started out as a lesson-ish and then became a rant-ish. So I hope you wade through these things and understand what I'm trying to say. There's power in words. If you were steered somewhere else, if like I'm going straight and someone says look, and you look off to the left, meanwhile what is correct is you're going straight and you shouldn't have veered off. I'm here to turn you back. And this may never even cross their paths or cross their minds, and they might say that what I'm saying is a whole bunch of BS, for a lack of better words. And before I let you guys go, I just wanted to give you one example here. Okay, so you have this word, and if you can, you know what, let me do on screen. This is better. Okay, so you have this word. Now I'm putting the vowel points there. Nechesh. Now classically, this means foretell, as in a prognosticator, a witchcraft worker. This one means to guess. Okay, there are other. We're going with the simplest definition here. Okay, and this nechesh, right? Classically foretell, as in to conjure up. Modern, what has been done, this word has been taken and applied to I guess, you guess, he guesses, things of that nature, okay? That is what modern Hebrew has done, is taken a lot of classical meanings or classical words, and the meaning has fallen away. And it's taken on a different meaning, or a meaning like it. It's something like it, okay? But to function in an everyday life. Again, modern Hebrew, how it was in the late 1800s, early 1900s, it resembled more of classical Hebrew than how it is now. Now, the way how they speak, it's like me speaking English. And I cringe at it, but I understand what they're saying. It's like the use took the language and made it even more European. The essence of what it was is no longer how it is. Or just, it's no longer. Period. That flavor that it had, it's no longer there. But that's how languages evolve. It evolves with the people. The people make it evolve. You do not conform to the language. You make the language your own. If that is a... Let's put it this way. Our forefathers spoke Hebrew. Let's say classical Hebrew. It's Hebrew, right? Now, the mindset was that of a Semitic mindset. Then you have a group of people taking a Semitic language and making it their own. So they made the language conform to them. So their mindset, it's different. That flavor, that sauce, that salt is different. Our flavor, our mindset, our salt it's different. If you taste their food, it's going to be different. If you taste our food, it's going to be different. It matters whose hands prepared it. Okay? It's completely different. So their mindset, this guess, is completely off. This is its true meaning, foretell. Modern Hebrew has, a lot of people would say it's bastardized a language just for the sake of having it function. It's a functioning language. Yes, it has taken on the Hebrew words, but the meanings have changed. Either it's been watered down or it's been changed completely. But you can say that for a lot of languages, okay? Arabic has changed a lot, but it has not been dissected and been changed so much as Hebrew. It has gone through a natural phase. Hebrew now is going through a natural phase. Modern Hebrew is going through a natural phase because people are taking it and it's being changed every generation. With classical Hebrew, no, it's still stuck within a particular time period. So if you were to learn classical Hebrew for what classical Hebrew is, you can now take that language, make it your own because it was ours from the beginning, and then expound upon it. Take the classical, use it, and continue. Now for you to make words like bus and train and pontificate, what else? Glasses and things of that more modernized words, that's gonna be tough. Okay? A lot of the modernized words that you see, it's either Aramaic or it's Hebrew from the Midrash, Hebrew from the Talmud, Hebrew from the medieval times. So they're drawing upon those four Hebrew and making modern Hebrew. Classical Hebrew is drawing upon classical Hebrew or Hebrew that was prior to that, which no one knows. No one knows that Hebrew. Okay, and it hasn't changed that much from that time period to classical. It's like, let me see if I can get my book to show you. Now this here, I'm going to get rid of this. Now this book that I have for teaching is Fundamental Biblical Hebrew, right? So I'm drawing upon page 9. Now you have Malku, you have Malch. Then you have Malech, and then you have Malech. This is how probably it was. This is how it became, and then it started. This is the phase. Okay, this is its progress. So you have Malkut, this is all king. Remember, Melech is king. So you have Malku, Malch, then you have Malech, then you have Melech. So it's gone through a period of changing, but it changed naturally. This is natural. The formation of these words are natural. This is not Yiddish. Modern Hebrew has taken the language, okay, and made it a functioning, has taken a classical language and made it more functioning within a modern time, period. For political reasons, for other reasons, yes, okay? I am not, oh, well, he's on their side. Look, this is not about side, this is about truth. This is about truth. This is just that. Unfiltered truth. That is what it is. I'm here to expose the truth, not to hide people. Or I have an agenda for political. No, this is. Couldn't care less about that. I want my people to strive for the best. And again, there's power in words and how you speak. Okay? Shalom, shalom.